You're about to learn how to trick your brain to stop overspending with cash stuffing. Cash stuffing is a simple but powerful money hack that leverages the power of psychology to literally make it uncomfortable for the brain to overspend. If you're ready to learn how to trick your brain to stop overspending, be sure to watch this video until the very end. You won't want to miss how to do this powerful money hack that will literally put thousands in your bank account. Achieve your financial freedom. For proven step-by-step strategies and deep motivation, subscribe to Personal Finance Motivation. The brain is without a doubt the most powerful and fascinating part of the human body, and if you give it the right tools, it will produce amazing results in your life. That's where cash stuffing comes into play. Cash stuffing is the popular budget that directs your income into predetermined expense categories, all in the form of physical cash placed in labeled envelopes. One of the reasons cash stuffing is so effective at making the brain uncomfortable to overspend is a concept called emotional friction. Emotional friction is the feeling of being emotionally overwhelmed or stressed by an experience. When you use the cash stuffing method, the sensation of emotional friction will occur every time you're presented with the opportunity to make a purchase. Science backs this up. One of the best studies on how cash spending creates emotional friction in the brain was conducted by Stanford and Carnegie Mellon, and the results were fascinating. In their clever experiment, participants were given a generous amount of cash as spending money. Then, the participants were given the opportunity to buy several items ranging from electronics, gourmet chocolates, and even the latest Harry Potter books. After being shown each item for a few seconds, the participants were then shown the price tag for each item. If the participants wanted to purchase an item, its corresponding price tag would be deducted from their amount of cash to spend. The first thing scientists noticed was that when participants were shown an object they wanted, the nucleus accumbens in the brain would light up with increased activity. This section of the brain is associated with the dopamine reward pathway, meaning it activates when you perceive something you want. However, when shown the price tag, participants experienced increased activity in the insula, or the part of the brain associated with feelings of pain. The scientists soon discovered they could literally predict the subject's shopping decisions before they even occurred, all by observing the region of the brain that was more active. If the insula, or pain center, was more active than the nucleus accumbens, they would not make the purchase to reduce their pile of cash. This study demonstrated that when individuals are more aware of the loss associated with spending, the less likely they are to make that spend. This is why cash stuffing is such a powerful tool that creates emotional friction and keeps the brain uncomfortable with overspending. When you know the limited amount of cash you have available beforehand, you are much more aware of the loss to that amount of cash if you make that purchase. This makes it literally uncomfortable for the brain to make too large of a purchase and keeps you from overspending. Another reason why cash stuffing is so effective at keeping you from overspending is that it keeps you from using your credit card. While using debit or credit cards is certainly the norm, they are not doing you or your brain any favors when it comes to overspending. In fact, one of the best studies on how the brain is affected by cash versus credit card spending was done by MIT, and the results were alarming. In this famous study, an auction was held by the researchers for participants to bid on tickets to a Boston Celtics basketball game. Half of the participants were informed they had to pay with cash, and the other half was informed they had to pay with credit card. Once the auction concluded, the researchers were stunned by the results. They found that the average bid from a participant in the credit card group was over twice as much as the average bid from a cash group member. One of the lead researchers exclaimed, "That's got to be crazy. It suggests that the psychological cost of spending $1 on a credit card is only 50 cents. The researcher went on to explain that credit cards are deceitful to our brains because they detach the pain of buying from the pleasure of buying. In other words, credit cards are dangerous for our brains because they only activate the pleasure center of the brain and not the pain center that's normally associated with a purchase. This leads to increased spending that otherwise would not happen on a cash budget. Thanks to cash stuffing, there is no need to ever use a credit card to make a purchase, which keeps your brain alert and more money in your pocket. So, let's explore the step-by-step process to do cash stuffing correctly and take full advantage of its positive effects on the brain and overspending. 1. Make a budget for the month. Your first step to cash stuffing is to list your predetermined monthly budget for all of your expense categories. The easiest way to start making your budget is to list your fixed expenses first. These are the bills that stay the same each month. They generally include your rent or mortgage, insurance premiums, internet, and any other cost that remains the same each month. Your next step is to list your variable expenses, or the bills that fluctuate or change each month based on your usage. These generally include electricity, water, gas, and any other bill that fluctuates or changes each month. These variable expenses are easy to identify for your monthly budget because you can easily find them on your upcoming billing statement. Your final two monthly budget expenses, groceries and entertainment, are unique because it's completely up to you where you set them. So set them wisely, because whatever is left over will go into your savings. Your second step to cash stuffing is label your expense envelopes. The easiest way to get high-quality cash stuffing envelopes is to simply order them on Amazon. For the highest rated envelopes, you can use the product link in the video description below. To organize your new cash envelopes, you can also find a top-rated cash stuffing binder in the video description below. Once you have your cash stuffing envelopes or cash stuffing binder, label each envelope or slot in the binder with the appropriate expense category. This sets you up for step 3, stuff your expense envelopes. When you get your next paycheck, withdraw in cash the amount needed to pay each of your monthly expenses and stuff it in the appropriately labeled envelope or binder slot. For the bills that are paid through your checking account, be sure to leave those specific expenses in your checking account and withdraw the remaining expenses in cash. If you don't have enough cash from your last paycheck to stuff every expense envelope, that's alright. Prioritize stuffing the expenses that are due before you get your next scheduled paycheck. Once you've stuffed every expense envelope, you're officially ready for step 4. Only spend what's in each envelope. Now that you've stuffed each expense envelope, your brain will now experience emotional friction and the pain of purchasing when you spend from your expense envelope. This is a good thing because it keeps you from overspending and keeps you loyal to your budget. To make it even easier to only spend what's left in each envelope, plan your purchases ahead of time and keep track of how much is left in each envelope. This takes you to your final step for cash stuffing. Repeat this process every pay period. To get the maximum value from cash stuffing, you'll need to make this simple process a part of your monthly routine. That means before each paycheck, make sure you've listed out your monthly expenses and get in the habit of stuffing your expense envelopes as soon as you get paid. This keeps your brain on a routine of knowing exactly how much money it's allowed to spend and gives you the full advantages of cash stuffing, keeping your brain from overspending and saving you thousands of dollars each year. Learn the secret to go from broke to financial freedom in this next video.